What is going on, guys? Now, I want to do something a little different for you guys. I'm going to start up doing a little bit of a mini series, as you want to call it, or really a mini show. I'm going to be doing reviews of The Walking Dead and Westworld. So I'm going to be planning on doing these Monday afternoons. They should be published. Monday afternoons, they should be published. So I just want to give a quick little mini review of the latest episode of The Walking Dead and Westworld. So first things first, I want to jump right into The Walking Dead. Now, this episode is the second episode in this new season, and sure enough, it was definitely a different mood or a different tone type of episode, which honestly I'm kind of happy that they did go with this type of an episode. We were introduced to new characters, and we're really picking up the story of Morgan and Carol. Now, if you guys remember, at the end of last season, Morgan and Carol, they were out by themselves. Morgan went off to try to find Carol because she left. She felt guilty, and she did not want to be with Rick's group anymore. She felt that she couldn't be around people anymore because she didn't want to lose any more people. Morgan felt compelled to go after her and try to save her and bring her back. So that's pretty much what happened with that. Left, she encountered some other people. She was injured, and Morgan found her, and Morgan was trying to bring her back essentially, but she was shot. And Morgan, he met some other people, and that's pretty much the story that we were left off with. Now, I want to make a good mention. Now, if you stay, or if you've read or if you've done any type of research with the comic books, with the Walking Dead comic books, now this was one thing I was a little bit concerned with: how in the world they were going to play off King Ezekiel and his tiger. And honestly, I think they did it really, really well. It looks believable enough that you can just stay in your belief a little bit and just kind of go with the flow. Because at first I was thinking, how in the world are they gonna have a tiger in this show and it actually be believable? But they seem to be pulling it off nicely. So with that being said, yes, they meet King Ezekiel and his tiger, and they're inside the kingdom. I thought it was a nice change of pace for this type of an episode. It's much more of an uplifting type of an episode. Even though the stakes were a lot lower, no one was really in grave danger. It was a different type of episode, but I think they did it well. We needed that palate cleanser after last week's episode of the season premiere. We definitely needed that. We needed something a little bit different, a change of pace, so it's not just gloom and doom. But some major things that we can take away from this episode was that the kingdom, they are encountering Negan's people as well, the saviors. So we know that they know of them and they're dealing with them as well. Now, one of the things that we don't know is they were feeding the pigs that they're giving the saviors. They were feeding them zombies or walkers in their world. Now, I don't know why they were doing that. Were they doing that hopefully to get other people sick? Maybe to infect them? We don't really know. But that's definitely setting us up for something, because King Ezekiel doesn't want anyone to know, or really he doesn't want anyone to know at all, that they are even dealing with the saviors. So that's something that we're going to have to think about for later on. I don't know if that's going to come back, that they were specifically feeding them walkers. I would assume so, because they don't show you anything without it coming back to have some type of meaning. So overall, I really like this episode of The Walking Dead, and I'm looking forward to next week. Now, shifting gears, going to Westworld. Westworld was a different episode. I liked it a lot. I finally feel like they're revealing a lot more of the plot to Westworld, just because before there were so many mysteries, we had so many questions, and it was almost getting to the point where they needed to explain something. Now, I know that it's much more of a slow burn, so I get that, but there's a lot of questions though I still have. Sorry guys, had to just go through there. But we have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions with this show, mostly to do with how do they set up this world? With this episode, we learn a little bit more about Arnold and the fact that Arnold, he killed himself. Or at least that's what Dr. Ford says. Now, we do know that before he died, he did speak with Delilah. So that has been a major plot point that we didn't really know about. I'm happy that they revealed that. We're starting to put things together that Dolores is special in other ways, that Arnold spoke to her. If you guys know, if you're keeping up with the show, Arnold was Dr. Ford's partner, and they co-created the park. Arnold had a different line of thinking than Dr. Ford, and all we know is Dr. Ford said that Arnold is dead and he killed himself. So we don't really know what's going on. So we do know that. So we do know there's a little bit more that meets the eye. There's a little bit more that's going behind the scenes. So we do know that. Another interesting thing that did happen during this episode was the fact that Dr. Ford came into the world and he actually sat down with the Man in Black. Now, we don't know who the Man in Black is. We don't know his name. All we knew about him is that he came into this world and he wants to find the maze, and he's digging deeper, and he's been doing this for a really long time. Now, I have a suspicion that he might have something to do with another company trying to come in and ruin Westworld, or who knows, he might be Arnold. I don't know. But when they sat down for a moment, it seemed like they knew each other. There was definitely something familiar about them both being together. So I don't know if it's going to turn out he's going to be Arnold in some way, but he may or may not. Another thing to take away from that scene is we do know that the host will protect other humans, but in this case, the host went above and beyond and made sure that Dr. Ford did not get hurt. Now, this host that was in the bar with the Man in Black, he was basically dying. But when the Man in Black, he pulled out his knife and he was next to Dr. Ford, the host grabbed the knife to make sure that he could not harm Dr. Ford. So that's not that far out of reasoning, that obviously he's the creator, so he's going to make sure that, above anything, he's not harmed in this world, which no human is supposed to be harmed in this world. But that brings up another point, and a lot of questions that goes along with that. Now, I know that they've probably mentioned that their guns, they're not real guns, so when they shoot the host, they can die from it, but you don't. Now, how does that work with them fighting and them trying to hurt you other ways besides for a gun? Now, if you guys saw later on in the episode, when they were fighting the host, they were fighting the robots that were in there, they were using their fists and they were choking them. How does that work? That's another question that I have. There's a lot of questions that things aren't quite adding up. Even with the Man in Black, when he killed his companion that was with him, and then it turns out that that same companion was seen later on as another character. Now, this brings up another question. Do we have multiples of the same character just floating around? Are they just inserting them and reinserting them that quickly? And if so, how can they reinsert characters back into the world, and then do they scrap them and make them someone? I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of questions. There seems to be a lot of questions. I really wish that they would just dive into it a little bit more, even though I know that they don't want to quite yet. And also, if you ask too many questions, it kind of breaks the whole fiction of it. But I really feel like they need to dive into it just a little bit more. There's so many questions. I feel like there's a lot of side stories that are going on and they're not quite connecting yet, but I feel like they're almost there. There's so many questions and there's not enough answers. That's basically my takeaway. But I do think this was a really good episode. Yeah, so overall, I think it was a good episode. I really want them to answer more questions. I'm really hoping that the next episode starts to bring things together much more quickly and much more efficiently so that we can really understand what's going on. But yeah, I think overall it was a good episode. But thank you guys for watching this video. Now, I want to start doing these type of videos. I want to really start doing this every single Monday. So I'm going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead in Westworld Monday afternoons that should be posted. I'm doing it right after the episode airs. We're going to be recording and then posting it. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comments. I want to do more of these type of videos, just talking about TV shows. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you like this video, give me a like. Check out some of the other videos that I've done. I've done a lot of other videos on a lot of other different things, including this Camaro that I'm driving in right now. My channel is primarily a car channel and a ferret channel, let's be honest. But I do other type of videos, so if you're stopping in for the first time, check out my channel, and hopefully you'll like it. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.